familiar with her, but Pamela Noble is the Assistant Director for Prevent Child Abuse Kansas, and she has been with the Kansas Children's Service League for 15 years. And she wears many hats, including coordinating the Governor's Conference for the Prevention of Child Abuse and Neglect. She coordinates the Parent Leadership Conference and the Child Abuse Prevention Month statewide campaign. And she also supervises the Parent Engagement, Circle of Parents, Crisis Nursery, Kinship, and the Parent Helpline programs. And so today she's going to be talking with us about Child Abuse Prevention Month campaign and the toolkit that KCSL has created to help partners in their awareness efforts. So Pam, I'll let you take it from here.
Thanks, Rochelle, for that nice introduction, and welcome everybody. Again, if you do have questions as we go through, please feel free to type them into the chat box. This is a little bit hard for me because it's not very interactive, so we would be happy to answer your questions to the best of our ability if they're in the chat box, and Rochelle will let me know what's there. So Child Abuse Prevention Month really started, we're celebrating 44 years of child abuse prevention in the state of Kansas. Are you going to switch the slides, Rochelle?
Yep, I'm doing it.
Sorry. So this says 40, but we're really at 44 now. We have some goals in our webinar that talk about what we would like to do. We really want to inform you about the history. We want to provide you with an overview, and we want to provide you with easy methods to participate in Child Abuse Prevention Month. It's a great opportunity to really shine the spotlights on the programs and the families that you serve. So we'll go on a little bit more about the history here. This is, again, this is the 44th year of the authorization of CAPTA, which is the Child Abuse Prevention Treatment Act. And KCSL was Kansas was the first state to actually have a chapter when what was then the National Committee on Child Abuse Prevention determined that states needed chapters 44 years ago. Kansas was the first state to go ahead and do that. So Sue Ellen Freed, Helen Swan, and Joe Perrin were the founders of this chapter. And Sue Ellen is still very much active. She's in her 80s. She does a lot of bullying prevention work. She still does child abuse prevention work. And she also has a prison program called Reaching Out from Within. So she has remained very, very active in the field. Again, the PCA Kansas came to Kansas Children's Service League in 1993, and so we have been providing the training and technical assistance piece since then. A little bit of review about last year's campaign. We saw activities in 25 different communities across the state. Lots of communities had more than one, but when we counted, the counties, there were 25 counties that had different events happen. Across the state, we sent out 150 letters to the editors to various newspapers, and then there were 28 proclamations signed, one by the governor, and then there were also 2 resolutions, one in each the House and the Senate. Proclamations are really easy ways to raise awareness of Child Abuse Prevention Month, and we'll talk about them a little bit more as we move on. But hopefully this is something that you'll want to do in your community, and we can certainly guide you through it. Again, it's not hard. So I think the next picture, or the next is pictures. This is from when we did the resolutions in the House and the Senate. I wasn't there that day, but I guess it was really a great day. It was lots of fun. I have been to the Capitol for when the governor signs the proclamation, and again, that is a lot of fun as well. So I would encourage you, if you have an opportunity, to invite your legislators to what is happening within your agency during the month of April, to do that. And if you also have an opportunity to meet them in the State House anytime during session, I would really encourage you to do that. They appreciate when their constituents come to visit, and I think it's just a really good opportunity to see our government in action. So slide 7 is going to tell you how to find your legislator. I did double check this link the other day, and it does still work. If you go to openstates.org, find your legislator, and you put in your address, it will tell you who your legislators are. So if you don't know, make sure that you're checking on that. So again, you can reach out, and you might have one at where you live, and then one where your office is located. So you would probably want to invite all of those from your region if you're doing some kind of event, to include them all in April, since they'll all be home. And then some of the goals we have for this session or for this year, we again are looking to do 25 different counties during April. And then we always try to do additional events throughout the year. We know that this really needs to be a campaign where we're stressing the importance of prevention programs, and we need to do some additional education and awareness as the year goes on. April kind of provides a great springboard into planning other things and inviting local legislators, community members, whatever it may be, to some kind of event where you're still promoting your prevention message. We, in the past in Wichita, have done some things with the Wichita State students. For example, we showed the movie Happy Valley, which is the story of the Penn State sexual abuse incidents that happened. And then we had a panel of people who talked about how to prevent child sexual abuse. We had somebody from the Child Advocacy Center here talk about their role when it comes to child abuse. And then we also had a police department member and a DCF social worker. So we were able to really provide some really good education on the prevention as well as the intervention strategies that occur when we have an abuse situation. And it raised a lot of awareness for people that think, you know, it's never going to happen here. It kind of put it there in front of them. Again, we'll work to send out letters to the editor. We're finding that the newspapers are slowly going away, so we have fewer letters to the editor that we send out each year. And then we'll work to do 30 proclamation signings across the state. And again, at the city and the county level, these are great things to do. I think you would be, if you've never done one, I think you'd be surprised at how much the city council or the county commission really appreciates hearing what's happening in their communities, what you're doing to make families stronger, to help them lead better lives. So I would really encourage you to plan a proclamation signing. Some of our different campaign components. We do have a toolkit that's available on our website. It's free, it's downloadable. The KCSL Marketing Department has taken the National Child Abuse Prevention Month campaign toolkit and really formed it to fit around Kansas and some of Kansas's needs and components. We have pinwheels, they're $1 each, or we do offer both. We have different the paper pinwheels that either say happy children or healthy children. And so the paper ones are downloadable in the toolkit. You can download them and then copy them and cut them or color them or whatever you want to do with them. And we'll see some more pictures of those as we move on. That we created, oh, well, okay, let me back up. Sorry, Rochelle. Contents that talks about the different things that are included those a little bit more. And about recognizing people in council meeting or a school board meeting or a PTA meeting, whatever it may be. There's some good different ideas going through the toolkit. And then we do create just a fun calendar of free or low-cost things to do as a family for the month of April. So we also tried to note on here some of our other things that are coming up. This calendar is available. If you need to have it personalized for your agency, we can certainly do that or help you do that. But feel free to hand it out, to use it if you have family nights or home visits or whatnot, as easy things for families to do together. The next slide kind of talks about the frame for the pinwheel, the framework that we use. We really want to use the pinwheel as an opportunity to tell. The pinwheel really strives to tell the story of happy and healthy, of strong families. We use it to equate and positiveness and things that happen. So maybe the number of children that you have enrolled in your preschool program, the number of families you have enrolled in a home visit, or each year, but that's that. They actually did it and they moved it every, and they got a lot of different visibility. So they had kind of a mobile pinwheel garden, which meant that somebody went out every, once a week and pulled it up and replanted it somewhere else. So we stick with that. We sign a memorandum of agreement with our national office that pinwheels will be used in this type of form with the specific guidelines to the social media, to the and so we in turn, when you buy your pinwheels from us, we do ask you to sign one of those as well. And you'll get it, once you make an order, you'll get that memorandum of agreement that we'll just have you sign, and you can scan it or fax it back to us, whichever is easiest. These prevention programs and not to promote victims. We still have our anniversary kit that we started a few years ago, and it is 40 pinwheels and a yard sign and a variety of other things. We thought that our wristbands were all gone, and then we found more. They never seem to go away. So we have wristbands, we have magnets. I don't know that we really have many stickers. We might still have stickers and tattoos left. So we put in what we have, so you are able to plant a pinwheel garden with a yard sign and have some other or hand out or put out or whatever type of event you're doing. Lots of times people will be able to plant a pinwheel garden somewhere and then leave the bookmarks or the magnets on the counter. If they plant, one year we did this with Starbucks, we planted pinwheels at all of their stores, and then we were able to leave our materials inside for people to pick up. So sometimes those are really good options as well. And then the next slide is these are the paper pinwheels that are found in the toolkit. You can, they come to a sheet, and you can cut them out or just, however you want to do it, and use them with a child's name. I think some people have used these in the past, like as a fundraiser for your organization, similar to the balloons that you see from the Children's Miracle Network. So people have used these for a fundraiser or whatnot in the past, with a child's name and a donation to the agency. You're welcome to use them in any way that you feel is appropriate, either with a donation or without. We try to do them at our monthly staff, all staff get together with our kids' names and hang them up, or wonderful. So again, those and customized to your county or your city, and then they can be put on your own letterhead, or generally with the proclamations, you just turn them in and they put them on the fancy parchment paper. You turn in the wording. The bookmarks are already printed, so they can't be changed. And most of the stuff in the toolkit really can't be changed to include other logos that I'm thinking through.
The other question was, with the items available for purchase, are the keychains still available?
I have some keychains. I don't know how many, maybe 100 or so. And so it would probably
Okay, and then one other question just came. Calendars, is it just?
You can just download.
The assumption that everyone can still hear us and see the screen because everything came back up, came in real recently in the last 20 seconds. So I think go ahead and proceed, and we'll hope it's still going.
Okay. You can go to the next slide.
Okay.
So there's different things that have happened across the state. We really like the pictures with the little kids in them. This one is at the Wichita State Child Development Center. We plant a pinwheel garden there, and we have, it's a lot of fun. They really like to do it. One of the tricks to planting a pinwheel garden successfully is to take a bunch of screwdrivers with you and use them to stick in the ground so you can get the pinwheel stem in a lot easier, especially if it's been really dry. But don't let the children handle the screwdrivers. That's like preaching to the choir. I know that you all know that, but I feel that I need to say that. So we would poke the holes in the ground, and then the kids can plant their pinwheels as kind of, you know, as we go down the line. It's really fun. We have a good time. And then this one of the Wilmore Carousel, I have, there's lots of pinwheel pictures in here, and they're from different places around the state, which we really love. And Prevent Child Abuse America this year has asked us to send them some pictures of pinwheels at different iconic places. So if you, any of these that we're going through, like the carousel, the big well, and there's a few others, if you sent me those, if you could just type in the chat box who it came from. Here's the Dalton House gang, and then this one with the Liggett art. I really, really like this. I would like to send those to Prevent Child Abuse America, but I want to give credit to whoever took them. Obviously, this one is a CASA one, but I would really like to give credit to whoever took them when I turned them in to PCAA. So either type it in the chat box or shoot me an email reminding me of who took what. I could probably find it if I went back, but I don't know that I have that much time or patience, quite frankly. We really got amazing pictures this year, or over last year, and so I do really want to get to share those with Prevent Child Abuse America. I think people sometimes forget or don't know how pretty Kansas is and how many different things that we have. So going on, the next one is about the proclamations, and this is just the sample of the Word document. with the city and the county, I have found email to whoever is saying we'd like to have a. Here's our example. Child abuse prevention is obviously a huge field, and I think it's nice when we can include our students as well. I think the next page is a couple of proclamations. Yeah. There we go. So it's Governor Laura Kelly from last year at her proclamation signing, and then the Kiowa County Commission. I think it was a CASA group in Kiowa County that set all of these up, and if I'm wrong, I apologize. But also took pinwheels when they did their proclamation signing, so their county commissioners had something tangible as well as reading the proclamation and doing the signing. So those are kind of fun things to take to people, and I again would encourage you to do that as well. So sometimes, like the keychains that we had, they seem a little bit better than taking pinwheels to people, and we can certainly talk about that if you're interested in doing a proclamation signing and want to take something to county commission. And then I think the next slide is some more pictures. So this is, I don't know where this one is in Topeka, Rochelle, or if somebody else in Topeka took that.
Mine.
I liked it because I liked how they used the hay bales. I thought that was a really unique way to be able to plant pinwheels. So I really liked that picture. And then the Clark County Courthouse with a bunch of little kids and their pinwheels was really cute as well. And then the next one is the bookmark. So as I talk about child abuse, whether it's at that really prevention is at the individual level. When we have brand new parents, sometimes we have to nurture the parents so they can nurture those babies, and that's kind of a good message to send with your bookmarks, how important social connections are. They don't raise their children where they have family, so those are important. The concrete support, those different things, and again, sometimes it just boils down to being able to nurture those parents so they can nurture their children. So the bookmarks prevent child abuse. They are available, like I said, in English and Spanish, and they are free. So we can send you as many of those as you want. They're downloadable in the toolkit also, but we have lots of them, so we're happy to send them to you. You can just order those. And then the next form, I think, is this talks about the Community Resource Library and where you can order your pinwheels, your bookmarks, or other tip cards from. There is a order form in the toolkit as well as on our website, and you just need to download it. You can, again, scan it and email it. You can fax it in, whatever is easiest for you. If you're purchasing materials, it's really helpful to our county department if you can make a note that the money is for CAP materials. And then it's also really helpful if you give us at least 2 weeks for shipping. Our building this year is about to undergo some major renovation, so it will be a little more challenging to get things out the door. So that 2 weeks is really, really important. Kim Osborne is our Community Resource Library Coordinator, and you can email, if you just email resourcelibrary@kcsl.org, Kim will get that, and she will make sure that those orders get filled, or her phone number is on here. She's simply extension 1348 in the customer office, the 942 number, or our 877 number. Either way, that will get to her, and she can certainly help you over the phone as well. Some upcoming events that we know about already. Wear Blue Day this year is April 3rd, so that is the first Friday in April, and we really encourage people to wear blue, and just as a way to raise awareness for child abuse prevention programs. There is a flyer in your toolkit. We, in the past, have always in our KCSL office in Wichita have always done a blue dessert contest because of Wear Blue Day. This year, because of the building construction, we're going to have to delay the blue dessert. But I would encourage you, if you are part of a staff that likes to have fun and likes to eat, blue dessert is really a fun thing to do. So do a blue dessert contest, or just enjoy blue dessert. Take some pictures. Take some pictures of your staff doing Wear Blue, or your school, or wherever it may be, and make sure that you hashtag those with the Wear Blue, and we'll show you hashtags here in a minute. And post those on social media, send them to us, whatever it may be. Sedgwick County Family Fun Day at the Sedgwick County Zoo is Saturday, April 4th. So the Sedgwick County Zoo very generously allows us to have a day where families pay a reduced admission. I think zoo admission right now is around $18. On this day, with advanced registration, it's $7.50 a person. 2 and under is always free at the zoo, but everyone else on Saturday, April 4th, it's $7.50 a person. It doesn't matter if you live in Sedgwick County or not. If you live somewhere else and you want to come to the zoo that day, you can sure as heck sign up. You do have to register in advance, but you don't have to pay in advance. So if you register and Saturday, April 4th, you end up with lots of other things and you can't make it to the zoo, you're not out any money. But if you don't register and Saturday, April 4th, you wished you were at the zoo, charge you the full rate unless you're registered in advance. And I will send out that flyer so it can be forwarded around with the link for registration. You are welcome to sometimes we work with some of our local board members to be able to provide our admission and lunch for some of our client population. So if that's something that you're doing, if you need to pay for admission for a group of your people, let me know so we can get that worked out in advance. It's $7.50 is still a lot for a lot of the families that we serve, but the zoo in Wichita is really nice, and it's just kind of a fun day. We did have it snow one day. It snowed in the morning, but I will tell you that by the afternoon it was a gorgeous day and it was a really fun day at the zoo. So if it's cool, the animals are more active and they're out doing more, so that kind of makes it a little more worthwhile. So again, I would really encourage you to get your families or yourselves, your coworkers, whoever, signed up to come to the zoo on Saturday, April 4th. And then we always do a Wear Blue Day, or I guess a Wear Blue Night with the Sporting KC soccer team, and that will take place April 18th. There will be a link for some discounted tickets. I don't have it yet, but once I do have it, once it's set up, I will get that out as well. And then if you're interested in going to the soccer game, you can certainly buy some tickets and go. And that has been really fun in the past. I've never been, but we have one of our staff people in the Kansas City area who's a huge soccer fan, and so she loves to get to set this up, and she goes, she's probably a season ticket holder, but they do always have a really good time, and they're very, very supportive of the child abuse prevention programs. So again, I would encourage you to do that if you're interested. If you have things that come up that are open to the public that you want shared, if you share them on social media and make sure to tag us, then we can share as well. We used to try to keep a running list on our website, and it just got to the point where we couldn't get website updates to happen quick enough. So with social media, we find that if we're sharing across social media and whatnot, that tends to be a little bit faster and a little bit better way to send messages. So we're happy if you tag us, we're happy to share as well. And if for some reason you can't tag us, if you let me know, then I can go in and find it and usually share it as well. Here's some Wear Blue Day pictures from last year. That's our Independence office. And then Melissa Rooker and Amy and Dioga from the Children's Cabinet and Trust Fund, their Wear Blue Day photos. So if you are a CBCAP or ACBG grantee and you didn't know what they look like, there they are, Melissa, Amy, and Dioga, that make up the Children's Cabinet and Trust Fund. Again, we like to have pictures of people wearing blue or eating blue dessert or doing both. So feel free to send those or, again, tag them on social media. Some other pictures. I think this is one of the child care centers from Comanche County. They planted some pinwheels. And then at our zoo event, the Bikers Against Child Abuse, the chapter from Wichita, they always come and do face painting and bring tattoos and whatnot. If you have a Bikers Against Child Abuse group or a Guardians of Children group in your area, I would encourage you to see if you can engage with them. Lots of times they will do things like face painting or bring tattoos or even just bring their bikes, and that helps to engage families as well. They always do this for me for free, which, as we all know in the nonprofit world, contact with them in your region. The other thing I like about it is they always bring their motorcycles, and that goes a long way to engage a lot of our fathers. Not that moms don't like motorcycles, but I know that when the motorcycles are there and it's at the zoo, the dads are more engaged and more liable to be like, yeah, let's get your face painted and whatnot, because I'm going to look at all the motorcycles. So from a father-friendly standpoint, it's kind of nice. And the majority of the Bikers Against Child Abuse are male. So it kind of, you know, it kind of sends that message that we value our dads just as much as we value our moms, which is, of course, very true. The next one, the next pictures, this is Seamus. He's our therapy dog in with our Head Start program. So he planted some pinwheels on Wear Blue Day with a bunch of his little kids, and he's really cute, so I needed to put a picture of Seamus in there. And then the DCF Central Office, it must have been cold in Topeka the day they planted theirs because they've all got their coats on. So just some different ideas of things that you can do. I think the next picture, one from Erie, Kansas, and then this is Riley County. I liked the way that the pinwheel looks with the barn and the sun behind it, or the building and the sun behind it. So that's, and they must be planted in a raised bed. So again, that's kind of nice as well. You do have to be careful if you're planting them in the grass and you're poking your screwdriver in that you don't poke the sprinkler line. So just saying. And then the next one, this must be the Riley County Police Department, and they did pinwheels in, I think there's some kind of a bucket with rocks. And so pinwheels in this, or pinwheels in a vase, make a great countertop display. Sometimes we put 5 pinwheels in a vase and a poster in regards to the 5 protective factors. And it can go in your entryway, it can go in your classroom, it can go in whatever kind of faith home you might have. So those are some other good ideas. And then St. Francis planted some pinwheels as well. This might be Riley County, St. Francis in either Riley or Geary County. But just kind of showcasing our partnerships across the state and the pictures that we get from people. And then here's a slide that just talks about the different hashtags that we have. We will use Great Childhoods. We've used that for the past few years. We talk about what makes a great childhood. So for example, when we have the zoo day, we talk about great childhoods begin at the Sedgwick County Zoo. We try to do some poster boards and some photo opportunities where people put in their own great childhood. You know, great childhoods begin with Baca face painting. That's the one that they like. Great childhoods begin with family game night, dinner around the table, whatever it may be, whatever you think helps to build on a great childhood, because we want to remind people of what we want them to do, of the things that are important to us and what we know helps to build strong families and keep children in safe, stable, and nurturing environments. And then again, Wear Blue Day for the Wear Blue hashtag for Wear Blue Day on April 3rd. Some other pictures, the Lyon County Fairgrounds and the Reno County Health Department. Again, just kind of showcasing some of the partnerships that we've had across the state and just some of the different places where they've been able to plant pinwheels and whatnot. And then I really like Pawnee Mental Health Services. They used the Pinwheel for Prevention banner on something that they did, and then also with their sign. And then down here in Yates, where they were able to plant their pinwheels in front of the tree, which obviously hadn't bloomed out yet because it was probably early in April and it was cold. But in that raised bed there in front of their building and drawing awareness. So we had some really great partnerships last year across the state, and I'm looking forward to continuing those. Lots of really good pictures. I could have filled many more slides with pictures, but I didn't want to be like a family vacation when you're all, we get the point. So easy ways to report. We like to know what you're doing. We are charged with the task of compiling an annual report of things that happen across the state that then Prevent Child Abuse America wants, the Kansas Department for Children and Families wants, and the Kansas Children's Cabinet and Trust Fund also wants that. And they don't want to know what KCSL did. They want us to compile the report of everything that everyone has done across the state. So it's really important as you do things in collaboration that you are sending us, you know, we planted a pinwheel garden at the county courthouse with these partners. So we know, and we can, as a new executive director, she came out of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. She is a research scientist, but her real message is that prevention happens in partnership. And I think that we in Kansas are really good at that. I think that we understand that Kansas is a big state. We're largely rural, and we know that we have to do things in partnership in order to best serve our children and families. So again, when we compile the report, I want to know what everyone else has done across the state. I like to see the innovation. I like to see the ideas that happen. And I really feel honored that we get to share that. We can say, you know, look what Kansas has done. It's not look what Prevent Child Abuse Kansas has done, or look what DCF or anybody else has done. It's like, look what we have done as a state in all of our counties. So send me that information. We do pull some off of Facebook as well, but if you tag us in it, it makes it easier for us to find. Otherwise, we do feel like we're social media stalking everybody's agency. So Facebook and Twitter, Great Childhoods, Wear Blue. Hopefully, we can maybe get Wear Blue to trend, or we can get Great Childhoods to trend in the state of Kansas. And then again, just send us the information and the pinwheel pictures. We love the pinwheel pictures. This next slide has a couple of my favorite pictures on it. I love this picture with these tulips. We have Rochelle has taken these, and we have a couple, she has a couple different varieties. I love the contrasting colors, and I love that it looks like spring, and it actually looks warm. As compared to today, the sunshine outside my office window does not look warm. And then Rock City, I don't even know where that is, Rochelle.
It's near Minneapolis, north of Salina.
Oh, okay. So Rochelle is really good in that she travels the state quite a bit during the month of April doing trainings and whatnot. And she just has her own stash of pinwheels that she keeps in her car. And then when she's someplace and she has a few minutes and the weather is nice, she plants her pinwheels and takes pictures of them and sends them to me. So it's really great. And I think that's how we're kind of on that trend with the different pictures that I got this year from different partners. And I would really encourage you to continue to do that. I think that those really tell a good story of Kansas and reminds people outside of Kansas, you know, that we've got a lot going on here. And then the last page has some additional resources. Childwelfare.gov has some child abuse prevention materials, as well as their some different information, some different handouts. All of their things are public domain. So if you find a tip card there that you really like, you can copy it and give it to your families, and there's no copyright on it. So I would encourage you to look there for some different topics as well. I know that we have ordered their resource guides. We haven't received them yet, but when we do, we'll make sure that you all know. So if you're interested in having a hard copy of that, we can certainly get it to you. And then my email and phone number is there as well. I will tell you, during the month of April, it's probably easiest to catch me by email. I tend to not spend a lot of time in the office in April, and so it's easier. I get my email on my phone. It's easier for me to reply to you by email if needed. That's really about all I have. Rochelle, thank you so much for putting all of this together. Rochelle updated my PowerPoint for me. I had kind of started it, and then she pretty much finished it. So that was amazing and fantastic. And again, I am here if you have questions or whatnot.
Well, thanks, Pam, for all of that information and all the creative ideas and coordinating that you do for all of our efforts. I love the phrase that you use that comes from Prevent Child Abuse America, which is that prevention happens in partnership. And that is, I think, evident to everyone on the phone and between all of our agencies, that how we all have the same goal of doing prevention. So